won't necessarily translate to a minute of TV pictures, but that was a pretty intense session out there for about 3 hours. It's hot.
Yeah, that's well summed up. It's been a big day, but we need to do that. Some of the older guys only been back for about 3 weeks, so we've got a little bit of ground to make up, and it's a good way to go about it. It's better than being cold, I guess.
Is that one of the toughest sessions you've ever done? Pre-season?
No, I hate to say no. I reckon last year we did that every second day. It just felt like last year was a massive grind, and I think we got the rewards for it with our fitness, and this year's probably just doing that again, to be honest with you. But that becomes the standard. You know, you hear and speak to guys at other clubs, and it just sounds like every year it's getting harder and harder pre-seasons, and you learn to accept it.
That was your last session before a break now?
I've got tomorrow. So we've still got a few things to do this afternoon. We'll come back in tomorrow, and I don't think we've got any running, thank God. But we'll do a few things tomorrow and then get a bit of time off over Chrissy.
Do they get harder as your career goes on? Pre-season?
No, I don't think they get harder. I just think you learn to accept what's about to happen. So you wake up in the morning, you know you've got a bad day ahead. But I reckon that's with a little bit of experience. You just know what to expect, and you know that your body's going to be sore, and you know you need to do it day after day. When you're a kid, you sort of just hope it's once every week or two, but unfortunately it's not.
What's 2.5-hour sessions back when you first started?
I don't think so. Things have changed. I mean, I can remember when I was a kid that we used to train in the morning, have a couple of hours off for lunch, and then come back and do weights. But it's the game's changed and it's more competitive. So the amount of hours actually at the club is a lot longer, and we do a variety of things. You know, you obviously include swimming and bike riding, the weights. There's a lot more meetings these days as well. So it fills in the whole time. So we're obviously full time, and it's just the way of the modern game.
What's the hardest part out there? And can you just give the viewers at home an idea of what they didn't see?
What's the hardest part? Well, we did a time trial at the start, which wasn't very nice, just to get the legs warmed up. Trained for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then finished off with about 16,300. So that's just a standard morning. So it's 2:30. We got on the track at about 9:30, 10 o'clock. So it's been a good day.
The yo-yo test, is that harder than the beep test, do you think, or is it sort of similar?
Very similar.
Yeah.
The good thing about those tests is when you can't run anymore, you have to stop, opposed to say like a 2 or 3K where you have to keep going. But they're all hard. That's the whole thing. It doesn't matter if you're Sam Gibson and you run all day, it's still hard for him, or you're Ben Cunnington, who's not a really good runner. So it's hard for everybody. Sorry, mate.
How are you feeling about the group's prospects next season? You feel you're coming right into a premiership window here?
Oh, it's dangerous to say that, to be honest with you, just because it is so competitive. And you look at the amount of teams that probably missed out on finals last year that are probably pushing. And then obviously we were fortunate enough to play, but you get no guarantees, and we know that. And then, as I said, you speak to guys at other clubs that have been training for 6 weeks, and it's their hardest pre-season, and you just can't take anything for granted. And you learn that over years. You feel like you're in a really good position, and it doesn't go your way during the season. So I think we just got to make sure we get our end of the deal right, our end of the bargain, and we'll see how we go come the season.
I saw you doing a bit of work with Brent Harvey out there. He's about to go. Oh, this is his 20th pre-season. Can you sort of get your head around that, and what sort of an inspirational figure is he?
Oh, it's not inspiration, it's silly, I reckon, with Brent. The only problem with Boomer is if he's doing it, everybody that's younger than him has to still do it. So I'm sort of getting to the age where I'm hoping to get the odd session off every now and then, but it's not going to happen. I think he came second or third in that time trial this morning. So, I mean, there's not many like him. And I remember playing with Robert Harvey. You can't model your game on these guys just because they are so rare. And I put Boomer in that same category, that the way that he prepares for a game and gets his body in the right space week after week, it's really hard to emulate if you're a kid coming in, but you've got to cherish those sort of blokes because they are so rare in the game.
You and Higgins, although you had a pretty good understanding going on out there in the game style sort of drills, have you sort of found his addition good, like, and been impressed with him at the club? Yeah,
it's only been 2.5 weeks, but he's actually trained really well. He's come back in really good shape. Obviously known about him for a long time while he's been at the Bulldogs, but I've been impressed by the way he goes about it. His skills are obviously exceptional, and it takes a little bit of time, and I learnt that last year coming in about learning other guys' styles and techniques, but he goes fitted in really well. And I thought the way that he's trained, he gets his hands on the ball enough and uses it really well. So I think he'll fit in really smoothly across that half-forward line midfield.
Jared Waite's fitted in well as well, Dal?
Yeah, Wadey's been good. The one thing I've learned about Wadey already in 2.5 weeks is you know where he's going to be. He leads at the ball really hard. He's got really good hands, and we saw that last year when we played against him, actually. He ripped us apart. So as long as his body can hold up, and I know that's been a challenge for him over the last few years, but yeah, exciting times for him and for the footy club.